The problem with detached outbuildings like this is generally you have zero connectivity. In our case, our wood shop is a steel-sided post frame, and we need to get connectivity from our steel-sided house. It just does not happen. The router is like level with the top of that window over to the left just a little bit, and even with the router right there, and it's a really good router, we can't get reception inside the garage right there. If we go in there when it's raining and have people over and set up chairs there, nobody will get reception. But if you step out, you'll get reception. I think it has to do with the metal building, like soaking up the signal, but I couldn't tell you for sure. I'm not a real expert on this. So on that building there, we tried a repeater. The repeater itself is up in that vent. We put it there so it's not blocked by the metal, and that didn't work. There's no reception. Even with the door open, just like here, you won't get reception in the building, but you will get reception right out front. And I'm thinking the solution is this wireless access point. I'll put a link to this down in the description. Hopefully it works. It has 4 different modes. 2 of them are wired, 2 of them are wireless. The wired network, this is the one we're going to be using, will have a wire coming from the router in the house all the way up to this, which will be mounted on the wall up there. That's what this little wire denotes. And then it'll duplicate the signal from the router in there. So we'll be able to have like a TV in here, and we'll get phone reception and all that. And we should be able to get reception through the wall out into that garage area. And they just show the different stuff. It also has this wire or multi-SSID mode, which is basically the same thing, but you can have everything on a different network. We don't need anything like that. And then it has like repeater modes. The unit we have in the machine shop is just a repeater. They're a smaller unit, and this will act like that as well. So your router would send a signal over the airwaves to this unit, and this unit would repeat it, and you can have an optional cable going to a desktop or whatever, and then your phone and all that stuff is going to get a signal from it. And this is kind of the same thing. This is kind of interesting here, but I'll have to show that in another video. There's a secret panel in the wall over here somewhere, and all of our electronics are in there. And then there's conduit that comes over here into a secret panel for the mechanicals, the propane, electric, and the fiber optic. The fiber optic goes over to this secret panel and connects to the router and stuff. And then I just connected this Cat 6. This is direct berry Cat 6. It goes in there and up to that panel. I'll be hooking that up in a little bit. But a few days ago, or probably a week by now, I cut a trench here and I went through some nasty gravel. This took an entire day. I trenched over to the shop, and you could see the wire sitting out there right there. I have to continue the wire from there. The reason that I trenched Cat 6 over here and didn't do the wireless thing is because of the reason I said before. It doesn't get wireless reception. Even with the door open, it's not going to get reception. And they have antennas that'll pick it up and bring it into the building. Like your router broadcasts from here, the antenna picks it up and sends it into the building. Those are really expensive, and I don't think it's going to work on a metal building like this. Anyways, now that I have it done, this is a better solution anyways, hardwired. So I dug through all this stuff. And there it is right there. So I'm going to go in and do some clearing out. I have a lot of junk in this corner, and route this into the shop, and then we'll open that box, see what's in there, and get this thing connected up. All right, we got the Cat 6 wire run out into the shop. At first, I thought I was going to run this right along here and then just go up wherever it ended and put the router there, but I think I may just route that through the wall behind here and come out right over the door. And this can be powered either by PoE, power over Ethernet, or its own power. I got to double check that to make sure that it has the power adapter in here. And if that's the case, I'm wondering if there's less chance of crosstalk in the wires if you have the unit plugged in at its destination instead of running power through this as well. Yeah, I think it'd probably be better to power the unit out here, run that wire through the wall, connect it in the back, run an outlet over to here, and have it all right there. That's what I'm thinking. But for now, I can just put an end on this RJ45 end and do the same in there. And I'll have to open this up. I'm not exactly sure how to hook this up on the other end, but it does say that it has an app, a tether app, so I can set that up on my phone. Yeah, that'll be kind of interesting because the phone doesn't work out here, but hopefully I can get it working with that tether app. Maybe it won't even need it, but let me go find my RJ45 tools and we'll get ends on this, then we'll open that box. Okay, let's get this unboxed right away and see what we got to do to hook it up. I do not do this for a living, so the vast majority of the people out there are not going to do it for a living either. So we should be in the same boat. All right. Nothing in the box. Okay. We have LAN and power over internet and DC power. We'll find out how to wire that up. Here is the unit itself and short little line and a quick installation guide. Can't connect to Wi-Fi 6 products wirelessly. Blah, blah, blah. May need to update the driver. I don't think so. We have pretty new equipment. Alright, I'm going to go through this, and that was nice to see. We are probably going to power this in here. Well, definitely. We're going to power this in here and not use the power over Ethernet. And let me get this read real quick. Well, first, let's see this. Got a reset button. What is that? VPS, Ethernet power. Oh, on, off, reset. Is that WPS? Okay. Let's find out what that means. Okay, we are on the internet. It is 74 degrees in Fremont, Wisconsin right now. That's a place that I go to once in a while on the Wolf River. Okay, so this is working. I'm going to have a different setup. Like I said, I'm going to set it up above the door once I start getting this wall in place. I'm going to figure out, I'm just going to tuck it back in here for now. That is so cool. I am so used to being in a dead zone. I'll get phone calls for hours. I'll get phone calls all day and texts all day. And then when I finally leave and go outside, they'll all pile in. Now, I'll be able to set up a TV out here for my YouTube, and we have internet access. Yeah, that is so cool. For those of you who have attached garages with your wood shop in it, you probably never went through this, but anybody with a steel building knows exactly what I'm talking about, and this is definitely the answer. I'll put a link to this in the description below, and I'll link to how I ran this wire and how I put the ends on it and tested it. I'll put links for all that stuff below. And if you're having problems with your internet access in a steel building, that is definitely the solution. One thing to note though, well, actually I should go through this. It's real easy. You just plug this into the power, turn it on, and you'll have a single light. And then after about 2 minutes, you'll have all 4 lights. And then it's just like it says here. The password is on the back of the unit. It's in super tiny text. So I just took a picture of that and blew it up on the phone. And then you go to this. It's tplinkApp.net. There's a whole bunch of TP-Link addresses. It has to be this tplinkApp.net. It was suggesting other stuff. You'll be on the internet at this point. Then you create a password to log in and give your email address. And then it says follow the step-by-step instructions to complete the setup, which were pretty easy. But the last step in these instructions, it actually tries to sucker you into signing up for sports betting or something. Just bypass that. It wants your credit card information, and it says it won't charge your credit card unless you actually make a bet or something like that. That is pretty sneaky, and it's a bunch of bullshit, so watch out for that. But otherwise, it works great. I don't know if I mentioned this or not earlier. This video has taken, about 2 weeks now. I dug the ditch and all that stuff, but there's been days in between where I didn't do anything on it. But if I didn't mention it, we have a steel ceiling as well. Steel ceiling, steel sides, steel roof, and steel siding on the house. So there's zero chance that you're going to get any connectivity in here at all. And like I said earlier, we don't even get it with the door open out there. The steel walls must soak all that up. So we have success. If you need to get connectivity in a steel building, this is the way to do it.